wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's Reddit Rose Report, the latest in wrestling news. Long Island, New York, Nassau Coliseum is undergoing a $220 million renovation. There's been talk over the past few years of the arena being demolished, but local legislators voted to upgrade the historic venue. Nassau Coliseum has been host to countless classic wrestling shows over the years, including WrestleMania 2, the first Saturday night's main event, and SummerSlam 2002, where Lesnar defeated The Rock to become the youngest WWE champion ever at that time. I think, didn't Orton become the youngest after that? Not sure. Fans can tweet at WWE Shop to let them know what color do you think is the next Cobra for Santino Marella, what it should be. Well, I'm excited about that, huh? And Jerry Lawler defeated Matt Striker at the Wrestling Under the Stars event in Fishkill, New York over the weekend. Apparently, the story of the match was that Striker wanted to give Lawler the heart punch so he could take Lawler out and replace him over on WWE TV. Such wonderful storylines. That's better than some of the ones WWE's got. Anyway, WWE website reports that both Punk and The Miz, they were hurt at Monday's Raw from Chicago. Who would have thought being dropped on your head 4 or 5 feet in the air would do anything to you? The story was, or is, that The Miz severed some sort of bruising around the jawbone, but no other major damage after taking a knockout punch from Big Show. Dr. Chris Annan, he reported that Punk suffered multiple bruises and scrapes on his back after going through the table at the hands of Ryback. Looked like he did take a little bit of a abrupt stop. But anyway, Annan added that Punk was advised to get additional treatment and x-rays, but he refused because he's a man. He don't need that crap from doctors. And it says additional testing on Punk may be required. After the following press release was sent out today, hyping Lex Luger's book, Wrestling with the Devil. You can buy it now. Amazon.com. And probably some other places too, but I don't know. Sometimes they're a little bit cheaper. Sometimes. TNA has removed the profiles of Mickie James and Ken Anderson from the roster section on the WWE, or on their TNA official website. Both stars' contracts getting ready to expire, and it was believed that negotiated a new deal, but it was kind of a sign they had parted ways with TNA since they got their profiles removed, and most likely just about everybody's taking a pay cut over there. Los Matadors, they're set to make their debut on next week's episode of Raw from the Mississippi Coliseum in Biloxi. And I can only say it's about time. They can stop all the promos. Triple H, Vince, and Stephanie, they're not scheduled for any more Raws or SmackDown episodes following the November 4th episode of Raw. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of most likely Vicky and, well, maybe Booker will be back to that. He's been recovering from shoulder surgery or something. Anyway, as we seen him the other day on Raw, he looked okay to me. WWE has released a pair of new CM Punk t-shirts, and the first is says it's the best day since day one, or the best since day one t-shirt, with an image of Punk's taped fist holding arrows, and didn't say what the other one was. Former WWE Diva TNA Knockout Lisa Marie, Veron, Orr, Victoria, and Tara, and all of them, they were backstage at last night's Raw from Chicago. She was kind of hanging out with Heyman, which she would make a good Heyman girl. Michael Cole noted on Raw last night that Roman Reigns suffered his first pinfall since debuting on WWE TV in a handicap match, elimination match. And PWI Insider reports that Roddy Piper wasn't included in the 2K14 video game because they reached out to Mr. T about licensing him for the game, but weren't able to come to terms. So this caused the WrestleMania 1 main event to be eliminated from the game. It's always possible that they could add Piper as a DLC. WWE's website has video of Goldust and Cody Rhodes being escorted from the building last night following their sneak attack on the Shield. Goldust tweeted after the attack, he says, "Time's up, dynasties last forever." He says, watch them all fall. As seen on last night's Raw, Nikki Bella participated in her first match since suffering the shin injury or whatever it was, and Nikki told Renee Young on WWE.com that she's back and it's all about Brie Bella getting the Diva title back. Also, on the WWE app, Caitlyn returned and said that she's stronger than ever. Well, she was strong enough, but oh well. She said she went through the lowest point in her life after dealing with AJ Lee. Caitlyn said she's glad she's not involved with the Global Divas versus WWE Diva feud. I bet she is. WWE is going to be releasing, get your money ready, Triple H I Kingdom Come DVD on Blu-ray today, courtesy of WrestlingDVDnews.com. They got a sample clip out and around looking at Triple H's relationship with Stephanie, which I don't know if there's any secret tapes or hidden tapes or anything like that going on, but it would sell a lot more copies. It's been reported that Los Matadors' first feud is going to be with Jack Swagger, Antonio Cesaro. Zeb Colter tweeted the following after the news came out about the Matadors. Will debut in next week's Raw. He says, "We'll be watching. Idiots." The Miz versus Randy Orton is booked to take place on this week's SmackDown. Now, whether it still will, I don't think Miz was hurt that bad. Booker T will be acting as special guest referee for main events of all three WWE live events in the United Arab country later this year. NXT Bo Dallas and Sami Zayn, they're scheduled to be on the tour. And noted that John Laurinaitis played, the authority figure at this weekend's live event in Texas. Apparently, Laurinaitis has been doing some agent work for WWE lately. Had to get him off TV for a while. Man. Didn't do ratings any good. And his legs were just horrible. As seen on last night's Raw, the opening video with video narrated by Vince McMahon for Angelo Savoti. He's the oldest pro wrestler who just passed away at the age of 99 due to complications from an infection. And there's going to be a bit of visitation for Angelo today from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Père Troy Funeral Home in New Jersey. WWE's going to be will run a rare Wednesday night live event on November 6th in Columbia, South Carolina, before heading overseas for another tour. And tonight's main event and SmackDown taping will be taking place from the BMO Harris Center, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Confirmed for the tapings is Dolph Ziggler taking on Ambrose for United States title, and Triple H is going to be appearing, which we probably already knew that somehow. He was going to be there. And his burr haircut reminds me of a small child for some reason. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.